Hello, everyone, and welcome to Super Switch Headz, the premier Nintendo podcast in all of the internet. My name is Matthew Stoner.
My name is Patrick Knisley.
My name is David Howe, and boy, oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest on today's episode. We got the one and only Sharareh Kermani on the show. How's it going, Sharareh?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you for being here this episode, and you're here to talk about Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 is out now. We've all been playing it. It's a beautiful thing to see everyone online playing it. It's such a good game. That's our main topic for today's episode. In the news, we have Tokyo Game Show 2022 happened. We have an official pronunciation of the new Legend of Zelda sequel to Breath of the Wild. I'm not going to ruin it yet. You got to have to wait for the news. And then we got new Genesis games coming to Nintendo Switch Online, and we have to talk about the Grand Theft Auto 6 leaks that occurred this past weekend.
Oh yeah,
and a bunch more. Before we get started, how's everyone doing?
Great.
pretty good. Yeah, we're doing all right. Just been playing a shit ton of Splatoon. So much, too much, one might even say. I need to check the time on my Switch, but it's been a lot.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited for when day 11 or 12 or whatever it is.
Yeah. After the 10 day.
I'm curious what it's going to be.
But yeah, other than that, I've been watching the Cyberpunk Edge Runners anime that's on Netflix, made by Studio Trigger. That show is really good. If you're a fan of the show, or if you're a fan of the game, I think you would love the show. But I think if you're just a fan of anime in general and kind of the cyberpunk genre, that's a really cool show. I recommend it. What about you, Patrick?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. We had some illness in our household that had shuffled all our weekend plans, which just meant more Splatoon.
So not working out. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
That sounds great, Patrick. That's the Splatoon part, not the sick part.
The Splatoon. Yeah. Exactly.
What about you, Sharareh? How's your week?
My week was really good. I'm just going to work. Work's been it's been good. My kids are doing great. I work with kids on the autism spectrum, so we've been doing a lot of fun stuff. Lots of new goals that we're gonna hit. Life's been good.
Very good.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Matt, how's your week?
Pretty good. I just got back. I just went swimming just a little bit ago, which is why if you're watching on YouTube, my hair looks cool. I don't know. I've been doing lots of bits this weekend. I did the PowerPoint show with my Charles Entertainment Cheese Bit, and then I did some sketch comedy on YouTube. David, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. I saw it. I saw the live stream. That was pretty cool to see. I liked the Pasquale's conspiracy.
Yeah, it's a fun bit. So thank you for watching, David.
Of course.
Well, we've got some shout outs from our last episode, which was the September Direct Reactions episode. Over on YouTube, Eric Shaw said, "Here's hoping GoldenEye will be September's N64 game, as they only showed 3 games for 2022, and there are 4 months left," which is, I think we kind of glossed over that, but I think I said it made sense. Plus, they're supposed to be celebrating 25th anniversary this year, just so it makes sense. So that's thank you, Eric, for that. Record 2 said, "This is the reaction video they've been waiting for." Awesome. And Matt
Thank you, Record.
Yeah, Matt Hobby said, "Literally unwatchable, 0 cowboy hats in a farming sim direct, 0 of 10 stars. Just kidding, Kyle, always a great guest." So, thank you, Matt. A few more over on Twitter. Tecmo Zach said, "Heck yes, let's go." Thank you, Zach. And then on Instagram, Sprowlix2 mentioned that we should look up the ranting robots on YouTube, which I did. I haven't dug into it deep, but they're a gaming channel that definitely has a hook, if you will.
Are they robots? Is that the hook?
Robots. That's the hook.
Well,
That's the hook.
We gotta get them on. That would be a
maybe
good collab.
actually.
Yeah.
They are in character. It's pretty funny.
We've done a sock. Now we do robots.
That's a good call. So thanks everybody who commented on our episode. You too out there listening or watching this could comment and be shouted out on the next episode. So send us a note or leave us a comment. Also, share the podcast somewhere online, and remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Yeah. And then as for the news, we're going to move on to that. We're recording on Sunday, so we might miss out on a little news this week, but we got some stuff to talk about. They added some Genesis games to NSO. The Genesis games, like, they made a big deal about the N64 games in the Direct, and then a day later or whatever, it's like, oh, and there are these. I guess I feel like the Genesis games are always like following a big announcement. Does anybody like
Yeah. Or they just kind of drop them. I mean, they do this once a month thing as well for them, right?
They've been doing a fair amount. Yeah, it feels like, but it does feel a little bit like, oh yeah, and we got to mention this.
Yeah. There's
but
some
anyway,
cool ones.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, what do y'all think? I don't know how you say it. Alicia Dragoon, something like that. Beyond Oasis and the OG Earthworm Jim, which was missing from NSO. So
I was also surprised to see that Earthworm Jim is also in the Japanese NSO release.
Yeah,
because the Earthworm Jim 2 like replaced, I don't know, it was like a Fire Emblem game or something, right? In Japanese SNES drop. But Beyond Oasis is a cool game. It's kind of like similar to Zelda in a way. It's kind of top-down action RPG sort of game. I feel like it was kind of their response to Zelda. Maybe not exactly, but it's kind of a similar game. That's pretty cool. It's got really good graphics as well. But yeah, there's some good games in here. I haven't played Alicia Dragoon though.
Yeah. Moving on, Nintendo gave us the title of the sequel to Breath of the Wild, which, you know, we talked about last week, and there was some discussion on our podcast and elsewhere about whether it's Tears of the Kingdom or Tears of the Kingdom. Nobody's addressed whether it's Kingdom though, so that's still up in the air. But anyway,
you're not letting that one die.
No, it wasn't funny then, and it's not funny now. Anyway, yeah, so it is Tears, not Tears, right? Yeah. Is the confirmation.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. You know, breath is something that comes out of your body. Tears are also something that come out of your body, of your face specifically, right? Also, you know, in every other language, it wasn't Tears of the Kingdom; it was Tears of the Kingdom, right? And in other languages that don't spell them the exact same, right?
Wait, what? There's such a thing
as other languages? Yes, yeah, there indeed is. But yeah, so it's nice to get confirmation, I guess, just so we don't mispronounce this thing going forward. But
yeah,
it's also, if you go back to, I think, trailer 2, you see this like drop thing fall from the sky. Do you remember that? It was like that water droplet that goes into this like pool.
Now that you say that, yeah.
I'm wondering if that's one of these titular tears.
Titular tears.
Yeah,
that's fun to say.
Maybe we'll get the titular line in this Zelda game. It's like, I'm so sick of all these tears of the kingdom.
Yeah, they'll say it.
Don't make me cry crocodile tears of the kingdom.
Ah, man, I love this fresh Breath of the Wild air.
Yeah, right. It'll be Link's first words.
Right. Yeah.
Tokyo Game Show, a big gaming event in Tokyo. Surprise. 2022 happened. There were a bunch of games shown off and announcements and that sort of thing. I don't know if there's anything anybody here is excited about. You know, we can mention there's a new Sonic trailer, not Sonic Frontiers, I should say. The roster for Street Fighter 6 has been shown off, 18 characters. There's more info about Tekken 8 and that sort of thing.
If I don't know, just Street Fighter 6, the new trailer just looks so cool. So much polish with like the single player open world kind of create your own character story mode. Just looks great. It reminds me of Capcom from the Xbox 360 era, where they just have like so much fun, like the era of where they made Dead Rising, where they just really lean heavy on their nostalgia from video games and just like so much fun. It looks great. I'm really excited.
I'm excited for this too, actually. because I feel like I've accepted that I really do like competitive games, Splatoon 3 included. Like we'll talk about more. And
yeah, you're like a big old smash head.
Yeah, I really like fighting games, I think. And I was thinking, it's hard to pick one because you have to spend a lot of time to get better. But I was like, I'm thinking I might give Street Fighter 6 a whirl when it comes out. We'll see.
We're going to be in a whole new era of fighting games with Tekken 8, and Street Fighter 6, and then maybe a sequel to Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah, I've always been more of a Tekken guy than a Street Fighter guy personally. So Tekken 8's looking pretty good to me, but we'll see if it comes out on anything that I even play on. Right. But yeah, I mean, Sonic Frontiers. I want to give some lip service to Masahiro Sakurai, who was just at Tokyo Game Show as a fan, just wandering the floor, and played some Sonic Frontiers and had really good words to say about it on Twitter. And yeah, he said he thought it was really great, and then like Sega like quoted him on it, and they were like using that as their in their promo and stuff like that. He's one of like the greatest game designers of all time.
On the back of the box, it's like, this game is great.
Yeah, I had fun with the demo at TGS. Yeah. So that was some good stuff to come out of that. And then also I just want to say the thing that Konami was teasing, our Suikoden 1 and 2 remasters are coming to all platforms, and those actually look pretty fucking good. So if you're a fan of the Suikoden games, those are coming out. I think it's like a remaster of the PSP remasters that came out a while ago, right? But it's just nice to see some life put back into that franchise.
And if you're like me, you just learned how to pronounce that series, Suikoden.
Yeah, I think.
Me too.
I don't know.
How do you pronounce it?
Suikoden.
Suikoden.
I would have said
it sounds like a Pokemon
or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's Tears of the Kingdom.
I sure it's not Kingdom.
Also, at Tokyo Game Show, news that came out is the Yakuza series is going to have a name change in the West. I guess that I didn't realize this, but in Japan, it's always been called Like a Dragon. I presume in Japanese, right? But but they are now using that branding in the West. I guess the last one was called Yakuza Like a Dragon, right?
Yeah, that was like the RPG, like the turn-based RPG spin-off game. Yeah.
So I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, to me, like the name is a criminal organization or whatever. Maybe you don't want to upset them or people who don't like them. Yeah.
It's just good to have international cohesion for all your games titles anyway. Well, I mean, I guess you could say like Final Fantasy, right? Like,
right, when
Final Fantasy 3 was 6 or 6 was 3 in the US, and now when they re-release it, they just don't even fucking call it 3 anymore. It's stuff like that. I think it's just better for marketing overall. And Like a Dragon is a cool name, so I'm okay with that.
And then, as mentioned at the top of the show, and I don't know a lot about this because this just happened today, the day we're recording this, Grand Theft Auto 6 apparently has some massive leak, right? Like a bunch of videos, like a ton of them.
Yeah, like 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it 90?
I love that.
90 videos or 90 minutes?
90 different videos.
Oh my God.
90 different videos, and then source code for both Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto 6 are also being held hostage right now. So the guy who did the leaking released all these videos of Grand Theft Auto 6, which we have not seen one image of from Rockstar, right? This has been in development for like 6 or 7 years now, or maybe even longer. What we're seeing is like pre-alpha footage from like 2021, basically. And it's real, what's his name? Jason Schreier. He's got his people that he's been talking to at Rockstar, and they all confirmed that it's real. And apparently they're just like in shambles right now.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
To not be able to announce your game the way you want to, and to have footage that, you wanted, that probably, like you said, is obviously not final, right? Like, so people's impressions of this game are now going to be shaped around this.
Yeah. And Twitter being Twitter, they're obviously already like, this game looks like shit. And it's like, well, this It's like pre-alpha footage. It's like a game being currently made. Like, of course, it's not going to look finished.
Well, I take back what I said that I don't love that. I don't.
Oh yeah,
love that
it's a weird thing that's just more common now. It's part of the world. It's
well,
weird.
hey, maybe this feedback will some last minute changes. Who knows?
Oh my god!
Maybe it was someone within the company that was like, I'm like really.
They're like, I made this look bad on purpose. I should probably fix that.
Is this the biggest leak
of a game ever?
At least of a game that has not come out, I'd imagine. And I think that this is potentially has enormous, huge ramifications, right? They're going to have to, this proprietary copyrighted source code, like I said, we're recording this on the day this news dropped, so I'm sure this might change by the time this episode comes out. But it's like, it's being held for ransom right now. I think he's trying to get money out of Rockstar to give it back. But if this gets out there, then, then anybody could like hack into this game. Grand Theft Auto 5 online will have major, like, cheating and cheater hacking issues, right? If people have the source code available to them, they can just do whatever. They're going to have to completely redo the code for Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yeah.
If this gets out there, right? Because people are just going to totally take advantage of it. Transactions and everything will all be fucked. Like, so it's, I feel really bad for everybody at Rockstar right now. And I feel bad for making fun of them for how long it was taking them to make this game.
And I didn't realize that the hacker has it up for ransom. Like, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's just wild. It's got to be like social engineering or something in order to gain access.
I think it's Jason Schreier. I don't think that's Jason Schreier. Please don't block me, Jason Schreier.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm sure that we'll be talking about this, or it's quite likely we'll be talking about this in future weeks. But in the interest of moving on, it was announced that PlayStation VR 1 games are not compatible with the PSVR 2. I think on official PlayStation podcast, this came out, which I don't know. It's a bit of a bummer in some ways, but are you surprised? What do we think? Like,
I'm surprised. Yeah,
I too am very surprised.
You can play your PlayStation 4 games on a PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
but not your PlayStation VR games on a PSVR 2. Yeah.
It's just a really bad look.
It is weird. Maybe because like PSVR 2 has inside out tracking, and they would have to like change some of the code in order to make the old games compatible from the old hardware to the new hardware.
Right.
But just to like, maybe they measured it and said it's too much work in order to like make them compatible.
Yeah, that's not acceptable to me, I think.
No,
it's like, because just emulate it. You know what I mean? Like, you can play like old Oculus Gear games on a fucking Oculus Quest. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't use the same tracking method, but it's like, you can sync up PlayStation Move controllers to a PS5, right? So it's like, I don't see why you can't just have the camera see that. You know what I mean? You just have to emulate the way that it's doing it, because that's a huge library of games. Some kind of
support layer in order to communicate between the different hardware. Yeah,
exactly. Right. So I just think that's super anti-consumer that they weren't able to figure that out.
It does sound like there is some adapter you can buy to play your PlayStation VR 1 headset on your PS5.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So like, don't throw out or sell your PSVR if you want to play the games you already own on it or whatever. Yeah.
I think this is now this is bad for a couple of reasons. Because this thing, when it comes out, is probably like $500, $600. They haven't announced a price yet. I'm sure it's going to be fucking expensive. I don't think they're going to be wanting to lose money on this like they are already on their systems, right? Like, they're losing money for every PS5 they sell. So they're not going to want to like have this thing for that cheap. So and then another problem now is that they're pushing this onto the developers. You know what I mean? And they're being like, okay, you want your games that you already made and had on our platform that you assumed are going to be working already. You want them to work with the new hardware that everybody's going to be wanting to get. well, then you're going to have to go in and do all the adapting yourself in order to get that to work with our new tech, which I just think is like, it's anti-consumer and it's anti-developer, you know, it just like doesn't, it's just, sorry. I shouldn't be this upset. I'm probably not even going to get PSVR. I don't know why I'm so mad. But it's just like,
as a person
it chaps my ass. I'll say that.
Well, my ass is also chapped, David. As a person who I had PSVR on PS4 as my first VR platform, and I've spent hundreds of dollars on games and have some incredible memories playing PSVR. To know that that investment in 2022 doesn't go to the next hardware is frankly chaps my ass.
Yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah,
about our ass chapping.
Well, we're going to move into some Splatoon 3 news, which is just going to kind of roll us into the main topic. We don't have to discuss this a ton here, but there was the first update to Splatoon 3 came out, a patch basically to a lot of just bug fixes, and allegedly I'm sure they did some fixes to some connection issues, communication error issues. Obviously not 100% fixed, but I do actually think that I've had fewer since this update, to give them some credit, but a number of other bugs which I didn't experience but I'd heard about are fixed. Rather large.
I'm calling placebo effect on that one.
Yeah, it might be.
I feel like I've been having continued connection issues.
Yeah.
I had 3 the other night.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately part of it. But maybe I assume that they will continue trying to fix things in this game. They don't want that to be the message that people are sharing. So they probably just fix the easy ones, right? That kind of thing. And then we already talked about this. The new the first Splatfest was announced as part of the Direct, but it's already kind of like active now. It's happening this weekend, but you can go and sign up. And the question is, what would you bring to a deserted island? And it's gear, grub, or fun. What's the official Switch Headz vote?
Hey, I just want to say, I thought we voted. I jumped the gun on this without consulting everyone.
Oh, what did you vote?
I voted grub.
Oh, bro. Yeah. The official Switch Headz vote is gear.
I know.
Yeah.
There was a lot of last minute trading. Votes,
we had a cutoff. We had a cutoff of today, the day we're recording, so we could announce it. But yeah, it's
well, Matt, I'm with you on grub.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Because I want food on an island.
Yeah.
If you're out there listening, you can join gear to be with a lot of us, or grub to be with some of us.
Yeah, that's true.
So
we'll have a secondary. We'll make another Discord for the grub users.
Thank you. Yeah. I know there's 3 of us. It's me, you, Sharareh, and Amanda Bird.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jeff Grubb.
Yeah, Jeff Grubb, for sure. Yeah. Why would he choose anything else?
We're the VIPs.
Well, hey, we're here in our first post-release Splatfest, and we've already got rebel factions.
There you go. But definitely don't pick fun.
Yeah, pick fun if you just want to be an agent of fucking chaos, man.
And play by your lonesome. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's our news roundup. We're going to talk a ton about Splatoon 3 just after this break. All right, so this week we're talking about Splatoon 3. It's been out for like a week and a half now, roughly, for the time the podcast will actually come out. Due to the Direct, we usually do these pretty quickly after a game comes out, but this one's big enough that we could wait. Gave us a little more time with it. How are we feeling about Splatoon 3? I see a lot of nodding.
It's fun.
Yes.
It's different. The colors are great. The hairs. I love the beginning intro where it's just like in some desert dune. I got some Dune vibes of just her
Totally.
like stranded in the little desert, and then get to pick the hair. I love the new hairstyles and the eye color.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yes, the aesthetics of it, like I mean, it just looks great, and I said this before we started recording. I don't think I have had this much fun with a game in a while. Like I am really addicted to this.
I mean, that's how I was with Splatoon 2.
What are you addicted to? Like the competition, the like one more, the unlocking
the one
gear.
more is really a problem in a good way, but also sometimes a problem. Like there's like I think the other night I was like Austin called me. He's like, "Hey, can you play some Splatoon?" And I was like, like 15 minutes, you know, like I got to do some stuff. And then like an hour and a half later, I was like, okay, I got to quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, straight up. I think a part of the reason that it is so well, because I too am finding myself being like, okay, it's my last one. And then like, I'll do 10 more. And then I'm like, okay, I said this was my last one. Right. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that now there are 2 leveling up bars, right? You've got your actual level. Yeah. Well, there's your actual level, which scales with your level, right? You need a lot more points to actually level up with each level that you get higher on. But then the catalog is always a flat 9,500 points, right? So it's like, so you level up your catalog meter or whatever
pretty quick,
faster than the other one. So whenever you've got it like almost towards the end, you're like, oh, I can do one more and level up my catalog or whatever and get one more cool outfit or one more cool, I want to get the dab, you know what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff. And so it's like, so that definitely makes me, it's very, very addicting. It's the most addicting really Splatoon has been so far. Yeah.
A lot of things have clicked for me with this one. Like I don't know exactly how much time I put into Splatoon 2, but a lot of it was on my own. And like, I feel like instantly with this, a lot of things that I didn't quite understand in 2, or maybe just didn't bother to deal with, have made sense faster, probably because of the community aspect, but also I think the game is designed a little better and like, small changes have added a lot.
Yeah. I feel like, similar to you, Patrick, is I felt like Splatoon 2 was very generous, that if Splatoon 2 felt very forgiving, this one feels a little bit more like a little more tighter. Something about like the hit boxes on the characters allows for like more precision, and like the motion controls actually feel tighter too and more adjustable. This could be my perception, but it does just feel more cohesive and like a smoother gameplay experience.
Yeah, it does to me too. I mean, I've actually upped my motion sensitivity almost all the way, and I found that that's been really helpful just in using the motion controls, because then it's like, because I think this game rewards big sweeping movements a lot of the time, especially if you're doing like a machine gun of some nature or whatever, right? Not so much when you're sniping, you have more like specific control, right? But like, so having it up all the way just means I just have to barely flick my thing to like get a nice sweep, over, because I'm a big like ground painter, like I'm not like, I like killing people, but that's not why I play Splatoon. I just love turf war, and I just love like getting the last minute clinch on the victory, because I'm just like covering up an opponent's area like at the last second and just getting that like 1% more that we needed to win. Like I get such a rush out of that.
Yeah.
And I think too, another way that makes it easier to keep playing is just how quick everything is now. I feel like, Splatoon 1 had like pretty notorious downtime, so much so that they built a mini game for you to play while you're waiting that you would play on the gamepad, right? And then Splatoon 2 was like stuff took really long, and there's nothing for you to
forever.
do then just look at the thing and you're waiting for that last
and then some
person
people
to get
would
in the room.
leave.
Yeah, exactly.
There'd be one more person you needed to continue, then 3 people would leave because everyone lost their patience, and you're just like, God damn it. And now you can just like shoot a bunch of shit.
You can practice and get better. Like,
yeah.
I think that's another reason I'm better, is I am playing more as we're playing, right? Because the lobbies have the little practice areas,
which I almost resent. It's like there are times where I'm like, great, awesome, that was a crazy match. I'm just gonna like look at Twitter for a second. Well, oh fuck, we're starting. You know what I mean? And then I'm like you cannot take a pee break in between matches in this game. You have to like drop out, right? Otherwise, you'll be late.
I think that like when you want to play Splatoon, you want to play the game. And having the ability to practice in the lobby is huge for somebody like me, because I would never, even if they I've never done this recon mode that they've added. And I probably, even though I'd be like, that's cool and I should do that, I wouldn't do it. But I get to practice still, Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
because of what else am I going to do? I mean, I could look at my phone, but if I'm not doing that, I don't know. I'm
It
ranting
keeps you in
about
the
this.
game. It keeps
Yes.
you focused on the game. Less likely for you to get up and leave because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it just jumps you right in, which they're smart for doing that.
Yeah.
Just keeping us there.
And
Yeah.
quick shout out to AVK, who we might mention again, but we were talking and he's like, have you ever accidentally just been playing in the lobby and realized that you weren't actually waiting for a match? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's happened to me a
hell
couple
yeah.
times.
I love that.
Like, you're like, why is
That's
this taking
so
so long?
funny.
Oh, wait, I'm not even waiting.
Yeah, I'm just running around pointlessly. Yeah. Yeah, that stuff is great. Yeah, I mean, just at a pure gameplay level, I mean, that's what a lot of the haters, right? The people that say that this game, I don't want to just all classify it as haters. I think a lot of it is genuine criticism, right? But a lot of the criticism of this game is that there aren't any huge new modes or any big additions to this game like there were with Splatoon 2. And even then, whenever Splatoon 2 came out, people were like, this is just basically a port of Splatoon for the Wii U. You know what I mean? So the people are always going to be saying that, right? But I get why they say that because there aren't like a bunch of new modes, but it's like all these
so many small things,
little changes that really add up, and you don't realize it until you pick it up and play it. It's just by far the best Splatoon has ever been, and they're killing it.
And it's like there's a ton of quality of life improvements. And that's the most important part. But there's also lots of little aesthetic improvements, like just walking around the square. It's so much more alive.
And it's like 3 times as big too.
Yeah. The inklings
That's
and
huge.
octolings that represent other players move around and are doing more interesting things. And you can push the jellies around, which, like, I'm sure somebody will push them all in one corner or something. But like, I don't know. It feels more interesting to be in the square, even though I don't spend a lot of time doing it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And something I noticed now that the Splatfest hasn't started yet, but it's about to start, is that there's like construction happening around the square right now. Like there are little bits that aren't fully set up yet, but they're like, there's like scaffolding everywhere. And like, it's like preparing.
Trucks and
Right. And so I think that's really cute and awesome and fun. And it just makes it all feel very alive, right? I think the Splatoon games have always been really good at that, at like just giving the whole thing a sense of place and purpose. And it's not just a game for the sake of a game. It's like, it's all like given a purpose and a kind of its own, what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm saying?
It's like you're in a whole new world. You like enter a world that it's like alive and active.
Right. Yeah, it's like they're having the Splatoon tournaments within this world, not just like we're playing the Splatoon tournaments in our world. Like it's great stuff, man.
It makes you feel like you're in a different dimension with other people.
Yeah.
There's cohesion. There's cohesion between all of the gameplays, from like Salmon Run, and having the character. You have this gear, and you're in a helicopter, and there's all this different sounds and different music to the square, to the lobby, to Turf War. There's a cohesive experience from jumping from game modes to game modes, as if you're an inkling jumping from a different activity to different activity.
Mm.
I am the inkling. The inkling is me.
Yeah, that's a good question. What do we go, inkling or octoling for the beginning?
I'm an octoling.
I too am an
so.
octoling.
See, I started as an octoling, but then I went back and changed to an inkling because I think they have better hairstyles, in my opinion.
Maybe I am an octoling right now.
I wanted a cute, like cropped bangs, which is what I have now. Cropped bangs with like long sideburns, which is, I think, a good look. But yeah, no, it's I love it, dude, and I love how just in that kind of cohesion and the immersion, like in the story mode, there are like these logs that you can find that really give you a lot of like the backstory on what's going on, and it's like straight up like there was World War III or IV or whatever, and it wiped out almost all of humanity, and it's just like setting the stage for how like dark everything is that gave to the rise of this new species of inklings and octolings and stuff like that. And so I feel like that's even more like on the nose than the storytelling has been in previous games, right? So I love all that stuff as well.
There are so many improvements. You talking about story mode? I feel like story mode is so much more improved in a lot of ways, and maybe we can talk about that. But just some of the big improvements, to the game, skippable intro, you can quickly get into the action
Yes.
It's incredible.
It really
Just
is.
about to
incredible.
comment on that.
I can't believe they did it. I
Yeah.
can't believe they did it.
And I almost didn't believe it at first because people had said it was true, and then I couldn't realize it's a weird button to push a little bit.
Yeah.
And so like I was like, you can't do it, but I figured it out, and it's huge.
I'll tell you this: I have not watched the intro once.
I think it. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but didn't it force you to do it for the Splatfest or for the update?
Whenever there's an update or a Splatfest or like a news bulletin, it makes you do it. But if it's just normal gameplay, you don't have to do it.
But that felt great almost.
Mhm.
Like then I wanted to see these characters, I was like okay with it
Same.
once a month or whatever, like that's fine.
I will say I do feel slightly disconnected from the idols in this game because I'm not forced to watch them every single time I boot the game up.
I think it's a healthier relationship.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't resent them. But the other just huge improvement is to the matchmaking. And on some level, you could say that both of these big improvements should have always been there or whatever. And that, like it's kind of sad that we're this excited about them, but they work pretty well. And it's at least they're here now. And it makes the game so much better. Like, I don't know, like you, David, dropped in on me and we played 3 or 4. Like there's been so many times now where it's just so much easier to join your friends, and it's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
You end up playing for so long.
Mhm.
Yeah.
During the demo, I played for probably 6 hours,
Mhm.
and it was great.
Yeah.
Great
Exactly.
fun.
Like when you dropped in on me, David, I was about to quit, and I was like, nope, why not? Let's do a
Yeah.
few. You know what I mean?
Well, it tells you too, like before you say whether you're going to play another one or not, it's like someone's about to drop in on you.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'll stay. Right. That's happened to me many times where I'm like, all right, I'm quitting. It's just me alone. And then someone joins and I'm like, oh, fine. I'll put redo, which is good that they have that little notification.
I think it's good and cool that there are 2 ways to join people. You have to create a room, or you can drop in on people, and then, that's whether you stay on their team or it mixes up. I think that's nice, actually. I know some people don't like it or maybe just aren't aware of how it works because they want to be on the team with their friends. But it's not that hard to do that if you coordinate. So it's kind of cool that you can let's have a little chaos and see what teams we end up on if you want to do that.
I think I said this when we were making small talk about it, but I love the holographic versions of the friends that are online, and seeing your friends online is actually when you're playing in the game, it's not like it's in a menu. It's like beyond a menu, but it's also within the world. So as you're walking around, you get to see who's playing, which tells you your friends are online, which compels me to join my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really sucked in Splatoon 2. I remember Dave and I wanted to play with one another. We just couldn't.
Yeah.
It would not pair us together. It'd pair us on the opposite team. Yes, he destroyed me. It was very frustrating to not be on the same team.
Caused
as
a
you.
major rift between us.
There was a point, I'm not even kidding, we played for 2 hours and I just did not win. My team was terrible.
Yeah.
He destroyed me. It was very defeating.
Well, me and my teammates, but yes. I think, well, no, but it's so that method, I was going to bring that up, Sharareh, is that like that method, the drop in, right? Like that's what old Splatoon multiplayer was like to play with your friends in Turf War, right? And so that mode is still in this. There's join room, there's joinable and drop-ins available, right? But the great thing is that drop-ins now don't suck anymore because like what it would do, because I was thinking what I assumed was the case in Splatoon 2 was that if you join somebody when you're playing Turf War, it's going to be a 50-50 chance on whether or not you're on the same team as them. But like you were saying, Sharareh, we did that for a day, and I think we did like 30 matches or something. We did like a shit ton of matches, and and we were on the same team maybe once that entire time. And so it was like it was clearly weighted to putting your friends onto opposite teams, right? I can't for the life of me figure out why they did that. Maybe they didn't want to make it unfair or something like that. But it's like, now when you do drop-ins, I'm finding most of the time the people I drop in on, I'm on the same team with. And occasionally it's opposite. And so I like it way more that way. And I actually like drop-ins now because it's fun.
I think they figured that's what people wanted.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, it's fun to occasionally play against your friend, but you don't want to always be playing against them. Right. Yeah. And then squatting up is great. I wish that you could just more easily squat up with 8 people.
Yeah, and then have
that's-
it be like random who's on the team.
Right, which you can do if you do like a private match, but you need exactly 8. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's imbalanced, right? And so it's like we found that the other day. Especially, it's like when we finally we had like 7 people in rotation with like one rando that would join. But then whenever we got a communication error, it's like, all right, we're gonna have to start back over from the beginning, and so that was pretty annoying.
Yeah, I do have. I mean, there's plenty of complaints, right? Like the squatting up is interrupted by the multiplayer maps changing, right? And that happens every hour.
Every 2 hours.
So, is it 2 hours?
Yeah,
I thought it was on the hour. Well,
no, it's on odd hours for Central Time where we are right now.
Feels like it's every hour. I feel like it happens to me so much that like, I've squatted up with people. We play one match and then multiplayer maps are updated. And like, why does that boot us from the same room? I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like we didn't. That's just a weird design decision that hopefully they change, but they probably won't. You also have on here gyro improvements, David. Can you, or is that you that added that?
Yeah, I added that. I'm mainly just talking about being able to lie down and play this game now.
Oh, right.
You could not do that in Splatoon 2. It literally would not let you, the like way the gyro worked. Yeah, you could reset it, but it would always be looking up or whatever. Like you had to be in a seated position for the gyro to work. And now you can just press Y and it'll just make it to whatever direction you have it right now, right? And so that's like, that doesn't seem like a huge thing, but it's like, I'd love to play my Switch on my couch, like laying down on my couch.
People, it does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's like, it's so huge. And I mean, especially this game like looks incredible in handheld mode, especially with an OLED Switch, right? Like this game just looks really, really pretty.
So,
and I just would never want to play in handheld mode because I couldn't like lounge,
Walk us through. So you want to play a game of Splatoon 3. You crack open a bottle of wine. You put it on the nightstand.
I light some sage and I kind of bring that around my house.
You get rid of the bad juju. Then you lay down.
I get buck ass naked.
You get your weighted blanket.
Weighted blanket. I cover myself in ink.
I thought I was the only one.
No, that's not true, but or maybe it is. I'm going to keep up the illusion.
You get high as fuck, and then you just lay down.
Yeah,
motion controls.
Basically, yeah. I mean, it's oftentimes I've got something on the TV, right? Or whatever, right? And it's like that's kind of going on in the background, and I just want to kind of relax and play video games, right? And so that's just a huge thing. Apparently, Pro Controller though still has the issue from Splatoon 2. So hopefully that's something that they patch out, because I could see people that are laying down, they have to like kind of hold it weird in order
laying
to
down with their
controls.
TV right above on their ceiling. Yeah.
I started playing on the Pro Controller. And the adjustment to go from Pro Controller to motion controls on the Switch itself while playing in handheld, it was they felt different. The motion, the sensitivity felt different, and so I felt that if I'm going to play this game and I'm going to use motion controls, I have to play in handheld.
Yeah,
because it's not.
Well, you can tweak TV
separately.
And handheld mode separately. The sensitivity as well.
Did not know that. Okay, hot pro tip.
Yeah,
okay,
I was confused because I was tweaking the sensitivity, but nothing was changing, and then I realized I was tweaking the wrong one.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
I just got too excited and just like jumped in the game. It's like, this is different.
Yeah. No, there's so much shit in this game. There like they really, this is by far the most content that a Splatoon game has shipped with, right? Because they always add stuff over time, right? And that's something that I'm having a problem with. Is like, I want to explore everything this game has to offer, but I keep just playing Turf War with the Sploosh-O-Matic. You know what I mean? It's like I'm just doing the same shit I did in Splatoon 2, but I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some of the brand new things, which the Table Turf Battle card game and lockers are two of the biggest ones. So Table Turf Battle, let's start there. This in-game collectible card game. I know some people have had a hard time finding where to go because the square is large and there's not a fast travel to that table.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about because I think that's a hint of something maybe. Right now you can't play table turf battle against other people.
Yeah.
You can just play against the computer. But this game is really fun. I think like I haven't gotten deep enough into it to start building my own decks. I don't know when. Do you have to collect? Does anybody know? Do you have to collect a lot of cards?
You can make decks whenever.
Okay.
You can start. It's in the not the plus menu, but the X menu. When you press it, if you go over to the right, there's before the all the way over to options. There's a table turf thing, and you can go in there and change up your decks whenever you want. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I don't know how do you describe this game? There's grid and it's kind of like doing Turf War. You're trying to take up more of it than your opponent. And you play, cards that have specific shapes on them. Yeah. That's the best I can do.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Each card has a different arrangement it'll have a different number of squares, and then a different arrangement of them. And it kind of behooves you to build a deck that has, just like any good card game, that have cards that kind of support each other. So if you've got one that has like a hole in the middle of it, have some that have squares kind of not all touching on the sides, right? You know what I mean? But it's a really deep mechanics of this game, far deeper than I was anticipating. Like, there's like specials. Each card you play has a special square in it. And if you get that completely surrounded on all sides, including diagonals, then it activates a special that then you can cash in to like overwrite their colors. And it's all this weird like proximial stuff, but it's basically in essence like you're looking top down on a Splatoon map and trying to ink the most turf, right? But it's all on how it plays is very interesting. I found it to be way more fun than I was anticipating. Although that's kind of a lie because I'm a big puzzle guy and I knew I fucking love this mode.
I do think, and I don't know, maybe this is gonna not bear out, but I think they're gonna add in being able to play against your friends. I think that's what the upstairs in the lobby is for. But that's because the upstairs in the lobby has no purpose and it's got all these tables.
Although they look like the rhythm game tables.
Yeah, my only concern is they look like
2.
An arcade thing, but there's nothing else going on up there, and it's a big space. And when you go up there, you put your weapon down, kind of like when you go into
a saloon in the 1800s.
Well, like it just makes me think that when we start doing it, and also that your ghosts that are playing table turf battle that are in the lobby, right? Like they're saying table turf rank up or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my theory.
I feel like they said they're adding PvP to table turf battle. I might be wrong there. I have been Googling this crazily, trying to find out where someone heard this, because people are saying that they're like, oh yeah, they said that, but I can't find where they said that, and I'm not really sure. So don't take my word for it, but that's what I've heard. I think it would be a huge missed opportunity if they did not add in PvP.
I feel like they want to gauge at least how maybe the algorithm, if they're able to even measure how much people play it before they even like add an option for two people to play. Because I didn't even, honestly, when I saw that on the, when we were looking through the notes, I was like, turntables. I didn't even know you can what's that.
Yeah.
And the square is so big. It's like traveling. Even during the demo, I was like, where do I go to vote? I'm like running all over this place.
Yeah.
There's like people everywhere. There's a creepy man in a thing. I don't know. I'm just he kind of popped out.
That was me.
But I could totally see them like kind of gauging, let's see how frequently this is played by everybody, and then we'll add that feature and make it more interactive.
The other big addition is lockers, and I think this is something that surprised a lot of people too with how much they're into. People love making their locker, and man, to buy stickers and stuff at the general store, they're expensive for the in-game currency. Like you can blow through it buying stuff for your locker.
Yeah, I bought a $30,000 skateboard for no reason. I don't even have it in my locker. I have it now.
Yeah, now in case you ever want to. The only problem is that I feel like we need more locker space, right?
Well, you get more. Your locker becomes bigger, right?
But like a lot more space, given how much stuff there is
that.
and how early it is.
Wow, I haven't explored the locker at all, so I'm learning. Other than like. Watching the direct, like this is the first time I'm really hearing kind of the depth and how fun putting stuff in the locker and showing off your designs can be.
Yeah, I think you can do a lot of creative stuff with the stickers. There's a lot of like eye stickers. And then, you can take other stickers, like there's fish sticker and put the eyes on them. Right. And that might seem like obvious or whatever, but there's so many different variations of doing that it actually is kind of cool. Like and the creativity people are doing with like putting shoes and then a bust or something, you know what I mean? And in their locker to make it look like a person or whatever.
I just like coating the outside of my locker with stickers so you can't even see the locker color, right? So
I just love the way they want to engulf you into this world.
Yes.
As much as they can personalize it to you and make it like special in a way. Not to get too sentimental, but
No, you're totally right. And I think it's something that they learned from Animal Crossing, right? Because it's like, you now have like a little corner of the world that you can make your own and, very much feels like grabbing stuff and putting them on your walls in Animal Crossing, right? And then on top of that, Animal Crossing had that great titling system where when you play online, you have like different titles you can choose from where it's, they don't want you to just write whatever because everybody would just write like fuck and pee-pee and stuff like that. And they don't want kids to see that. So they like have ones you can choose from and they're enough to where you can really make it your own, right?
Yeah.
And so that's cool. Like the splash tags and stuff like that, having a background and being able to have a unique name that you can change once a month.
It's not as restrictive. There's more personalizing, factors to this game. It's not just like, oh, here we are in the city. Oh, gonna go run to the thing and start a game. It's like, it allows you to really explore the town square and make your little, like you said, home in the corner of it all.
And I think you start with such a limited amount of those things that I'm excited every time I actually unlock a new banner or or those words, because now I might be able to create a more unique thing. And then this is a totally unrelated thought, but something you just said made me think of it, is that levels seem less important in Splatoon 3. Like in Splatoon 2, when you found a match of Turf War, you could see everybody's level, and they don't show that in this game. And I think that's for the best, because it didn't matter then and it doesn't really matter now, right? Somebody might be level 30 and not be that great. Or somebody might have wiped their save data and started over and be amazing at level 1 or something, and it's all under the hood anyway, kind of stuff, really. Cause so I don't know. I kind of like that, but
yeah. I think it's got pros and cons. I've seen a lot of people, especially in the Splatoon subreddit, complain about how unfair Turf War can seem sometimes. I think that there is less the matchmaking is less weighted than it used to be, and I think a lot of that is because they've made it easier for you to team up with your friends. But I mean, if it's between that and then not being able to team up with your friends easily, I'd much rather take that. You know what I mean? And occasionally just get frustrated. After all, they are only 3-minute long matches. So it's like, if you're in hell, you're only in hell for 3 minutes.
Personally, right? I like to have, level 63 on my team and know that they're on my team.
Just know.
Because during Splatoon 2, I'd be like, yes, cool. Zombie Lips 69 is going to be on my team and they're level 96. We're totally killing this shit. Or if they're on the opposite side, I'm like, God, we're about to get destroyed.
Well, that's what I like.
So that was always nice.
There's no judgment going in, though, right? Like,
sure.
Unless your name is Player, and then I know you've never played.
But even that, they're like, "Oh, I just got Splatoon 3 late. I have got 500 hours in Splatoon 2, and you just don't know that yet."
I had over 100 in Splatoon 2.
Nice.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
So.
I very cool. Something else.
Cool.
Something else we forgot to mention on quality of life improvements is cloud saves. This game actually supports cloud saves now.
Oh, that's right.
Splatoon 2 did not support cloud saves, and you had to manually move your save from Switch to Switch, or if your Switch was stolen, all your progress was gone. Right. Yeah. This time they were just like, fuck it, I guess. And now it's way better. So it's like, if you get a new Switch, it'll just move straight over to it. Or if it's stolen or whatever, it's all in the cloud. If you have Nintendo Switch Online, which if you're playing this game, you've got it because it's primarily an online game. Right. So that's a good thing as well. That might have something to do with all of that. Right. Just less of a focus on what your level is. And it's all about the catalog level now anyway. Right.
Trying to get that dab, like you said.
Which I didn't realize this. The catalogs are timed.
Yeah, they're quarterly.
Yeah, they're quarterly. So I didn't realize that. So you want to get to level 99 on your
on
catalog,
by November 13th,
November
or whatever
something,
it is. Yeah,
right?
like,
Yeah,
right.
Which kind of, at first I was like, that's great. We're gonna have like so much more shit that's coming out, and I am excited about that. But also now I'm like fucking stressed. I'm like, God, do I have to play this game like so much?
Only if you want to.
I need the dab, Patrick.
I think that's what they want, David.
Yeah.
They want you to stay there. That's why they created the lobby where you can just shoot, so you never leave. Like you're in a
Yep.
casino.
All you
Yeah, it
need
is. I
is
was just gonna say it's like a casino.
one more game, everyone. Just do one more. Just do it. Come on back. What harm can you do? Just play one more.
It is interesting though, isn't it? It's like it feels like a free to play game, but it isn't, and it doesn't have microtransactions. You know what I mean? It like feels like it's a game that is free and has battle passes and would have microtransactions in it, but it's $60 and you can't ever pay more than that, other than a big DLC that's coming out at some point.
Yeah,
right?
it feels like I'm paying my $1 to get that skateboard that, or whatever, to put in my locker or whatever.
Yeah, it's just weird, like how much they've taken from games like Fortnite or other battle royale games for this model, but it's not really actually doing it. It's just to keep you playing. You know what I mean? Where the other one seems so much more nefarious because they're trying to keep you playing so they'll get more money every time you play. Right? This is just like squids being squids, I guess.
Well, I know there's a ton we could talk about, but is there anything anybody wants to make sure we hit, or any observations you really want to make sure we include?
Well, I was one complaint I had was when you first start out and you have to shoot off. I think I'm just getting used to that still.
Oh yeah,
the beginning.
Just shoot into there.
I think I like it more.
I like it too.
It did take me a second to get used to.
I think that's what it is. I think I'm just not used. I'm like kind of like weird with the control. I'm like,
because it's like motion too. It's like you have to like aim with that.
That's my only thing.
I think it's cool because being able to choose, and there are even some places where you can launch to get up higher and stuff like that. So you got to be careful because sometimes I like to back up after I launch, and I have killed myself early on one time where I just backed right off the map, trying to launch in right at the back and then like back up to shoot, and we're like, oh, that's not what you don't do that.
I turn. I like go and I immediately turn around to like spray the back, and so I end up not having that problem. But
that makes sense.
Like a pro gamer as well. So.
Yeah, I'm just better than you. So.
No, but that's definitely an interesting thing. But again, I think it's like a quality thing, right? You're not just starting at the same spot every time, or it's not randomized, and you can see where your friends or your people on your team are about to spawn, and you can like pick a different spot.
Yeah,
which is cool.
Or in different modes, like let's all race to the middle. Like somebody's gonna, you know what I mean? Like in tower control or something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's all fucking make one line. That's
a good question. Are you guys playing Anarchy Battles?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm playing a little bit of everything.
Tower control, love. Rainmaker, I'm shit at. Just not very good at.
Yeah.
I think I've played one game of Rainmaker, and then the rest has been Turf War.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You know what was a lot of fun is I played Private Battle with like 6 or 7 other Switch Heads the other day. And in Private Battle, we like Austin, who really loves Clan Blitz, and everybody was like, we don't even know how to play it. We just sat there and like did a practice round, and he explained it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And then we played Tower Control, which some people hadn't played. And it's like, it was just a nice, like, it's a gentle way to do it. And there's enough people playing right now, and we could coordinate stuff like that. And it's more fun also with friends. And all those modes are kind of better with communication. Especially Clan Blitz, and some to varying degrees the other ones. So that helps.
Did you ever play ranked in Splatoon 2, Sharareh?
Yeah, it was too detrimental to my ego. I couldn't do it. So, I was
kind of
low.
same. Yeah.
I was so low. I was like C forever, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Turf War.
Yeah, I keep telling myself it's like, all right, I'm going to start getting into Anarchy Battles, which is what they would, that's what they used to call them, ranked battles. But I just never. I just get so addicted to Turf War. I just love it so much. I keep playing it. Right.
Yeah.
I will say Salmon Run is great.
It is great.
But I'm having a hard time leveling up in that as well.
so many
I'm
new.
not crazy about it personally.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I played a lot of it today. Just so many fun new things, like the cannons and there's just different things that happen. It's more
Like
interesting.
emergent modes kind of that happen.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
I forget what they're called. Like they're firefly like things. There's a mode where that'll happen, and there's the maws, or not maws, the like standing ones that spit out a bunch of enemies. They're like these things that randomly happen, and it's like fun. The getting in the cannon is a ton of fun. I don't know. I've been really digging Salmon Run this time around. I liked it somewhat last time, but I'm really liking
I
it.
kind of get bored. I think my ADHD, I don't know. Like I love the torque, which is like 3 minutes go, 3 minutes go. And it's just almost like you have to like look for this ugly looking fish thing and then take its children from it. And it's just, I don't know.
You're just committing genocide every time you play this mode. Yeah.
They're attacking us though. But no. But I think
because we're attacking them.
Stand.
I mean, if someone took my eggs,
we're all yelling. It's a cacophony right now.
Real quick, one of the reasons I think I like Salmon Run better this time, and I think this is true of the story mode too, so maybe this is a good transition, but like I think the ramp up is easier. Like I think you play the first few times you play it, it's like a lob. You know what I mean? It doesn't, and then it gets harder.
I have lost on round 1 before.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's random somewhat too, right? Like I just feel like the story mode does this too. I think story mode is easier at the beginning than story mode was in Splatoon 2, and maybe some of this is my bias of having played a game, you know what I mean, coming into this with experience. But watching my kid play story mode, I was really worried he would get frustrated and quit. But I think the first 10 levels are easy, like, and ramp up slower. And that thing about this game being addicting, there's more to do in the overworld, and it's more quickly rewarding, and you can find things for your locker and stuff. I think they've done a good job of all these modes have a better on ramp with the lobby where you can shoot around, with the story mode having an easier. I don't know. I've talked for a long time. I'm gonna stop.
All right, good. I was playing story mode last night in the drive-thru line for Whataburger. And
like a true Texan.
Well, what'd you get?
Texan.
What'd you get?
What I get?
Yeah.
I got the blue cheeseburger. It's a special that they have going on right now.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, of course. It's important. Details matter.
Owned by Darden. Actually, I don't think that's true. Yeah.
It's by some venture capitalist group that bought him out. I think Bain Capital.
Let's talk about this for the next 20 minutes.
Okay. I'd love to. Yeah, that sounds great.
I know. But anyway, in the interest of time, I just found the story mode to be kind of almost too scattered. It's like once you get past that first area, it's like almost like you just have to do a lot of exploring in the overworld in order to even discover where you're meant to go, right? Like it's almost like I almost felt like kind of overwhelmed, right? And then also some of the stuff, like I know you were saying they're easy, but I was like, I don't know where the fuck to go right now. You know what I mean? I just like don't know what to do. I know how to play this game, but I just don't know like where to go in this room.
When I say easy, I guess I mean like you're not gonna die. You're right that there is some like there it is a little bit of tricky, like you got to look behind you and go up the wall stuff. That is a little bit hard, but yeah. Well, I know, like you said, in the interest of time, we should probably wrap this up pretty soon. What else? There's so much. I know we can't get to it all. Anything else anybody want to mention?
Maybe if we could venture into some criticism. Only they changed some of the sub weapons for some of the main weapons, and so adjusting to the new type of sub weapons encouraged me to play differently, and it encouraged me to try new weapons. But there was some play adjustment from Splatoon 2 to Splatoon 3. Where I would like play as the dual squelchers, and I would come with the Tenta missiles because I would play long range and more of like range control because how I played. And so now I'm more of like a shotgun, more of the bucket is what I'm playing more now.
I do wish you could build your own weapon. Like maybe that would break the game a little bit, but I don't think it would necessarily. I mean, like,
it would.
Yeah, I would.
But like, I think that would be great. Like, if you could, I don't know.
I think that's where some of the post-release updates that are coming out are going to come in. You know, like this is the worst this game is ever going to be. You know what I mean? Like this game is only going to have more maps. They're going to fix netcode stuff, or at least some of it going forward. As we've already seen, they've done some tweaking to matchmaking already with this first patch. We're going to be adding tons more weapons. You know, there's going to be new modes, not necessarily new modes, but new tweaks to existing modes. And there might be, right? And so it's like, we haven't even had our first Splatfest yet, really. Right. And so it's like, you know, this game is going to have 2 years of consistent updates. Right. And so it's like, you know, 2 years from now, this is going to be a totally different game than it was when it launched. And that's why I was so surprised at how fully featured it was right off the bat, because like Splatoon 1, when I bought that game, like very close to when it came out. Right. And that was like, there were like 6 maps in that fucking game, dude, when it launched. Right. It was like light, you know, and then you're only playing 2 every 2 hours, so it really felt like a grind to like get through that. But then eventually Splatoon 1 was great, right? This is already on such a good foot right from the beginning that I do think, Matt, it's like, I think we'll all find some of the stuff that we liked, the combinations we liked in older ones, we'll be getting those back eventually, right? In some form. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just kind of hoping, I guess. I'll tell you, I missed the splashdown. You know what I mean? Is that what that's called?
Was that when you like jump up in the air?
And slam down? Yeah, yeah. That's just like, that's in story mode, but that's not on any of the weapons in multiplayer, you know? So I hope they add like that back into some of them and some stuff like that.
Oh, so maybe that's a great transition to like talk about like the things that we might want from future updates. So like adding or bringing in new subtype of weapons or moving them around.
I like the stamp though. I've gotten way used to the stamp. I love it.
That's the big hammer that you use.
Big hammer. We just
The specials are crazy.
Yeah.
The specials are wild. I think that's just like
the one that just goes through walls, like the big lines.
I love that one.
Yeah.
I love that one so much.
I don't even know how to use it. There's a lot I don't get about this game, and I just kind of like stick with my one weapon.
General direction that you want it to go towards, and then it goes up.
Oh, okay. It's simpler than I thought then.
No, there is a lot, and I think, you know, different weapons and different things are also applicable to different modes too, right? Like if you're playing Turf War, then Ink in the Ground is most important, and so some of the, you know, other weapons aren't as useful necessarily. But anyway, we should wrap it up, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's just. I want to hit a couple of these last things you have in here. Let's just give a little bit of lip service. The music again is out of this world. It's incredible. The music has always been on a totally different level in Splatoon games. I love what they're doing with this. Like I was listening to some like Octo expansion music before this, where it's all like hip hop and shit like that. Like that stuff is incredible, and I can't wait to see the songs for new stages and whatever this big expansion they're going to do. Like that's definitely going to be something I'm going to grab. And just like what they add to that, I'm really excited for. Do we like the new idols, by the way? Have we come to like them?
I have come around. I think that my least favorite initially is now my favorite. I think I like Fry the best. It's like like it's weird.
Well, now that we know their personality is more too.
Yeah.
It's like you get to like kind of know.
Yeah. This
is still just a game. They're
what?
not real people. They're not real people. I know I'm talking about them like they're real people. I have a parasocial relationship with the idols in this game.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
They also they show up in story mode too. I don't know. It's great.
Yeah. And like then all the new characters are great in the shops. Like Harmony.
Harmony's the best.
Yeah, Harmony's just like perpetually stoned in her little shop. Just like fiddling with like some toys. And like,
and I love it when she's like, keep up the good work. Work? Is it work? Whatever. Keep it up. You know what I mean? Or whatever she says.
And the great thing about Table Turf Battle is all the shop owners, you just play against them. Like you unlock all of them as you go, right?
Nice.
So you get to have like more interactions with them, which is cool. But yeah, I just wanted to give that a little bit of lip service.
Totally.
We could totally move on.
All right, we'll close it out then. It's a big game. If you are into it, definitely come join the Discord. Right now, there are people playing all the time, and I've been able to find people, and we've had voice chats, and it's been just so much fun. So come play some Splatoon 3 with us. Join our Discord.
And PSA, make sure you download the Nintendo Switch Online app, because there's tons of stuff that you can unlock in game through that app.
All right, we're going to take another break, and then we'll talk about the other games that we've been playing recently. I honestly don't have anything to say here. I don't think. I've been playing Splatoon 3. I have fired up Smash. I have played games on my phone, but I don't have anything of note. Like, I can't stop playing Splatoon 3. So that's it for me, mostly.
I've been playing Boomerang Foo.
What is Boomerang Foo?
It's a fun one. It's where you basically, it's like you play against other people, or like, you know, the CPUs, you know, and you basically throw a boomerang and you're trying to slice your different foods. So there's sushi, carrot, eggplant, and then you try to slice each other, and then whoever slices each other each round, they, you know, and then you get like, I think there's like 16 dots, and it gets filled up.
Okay.
It's really fun. And Kirby's Dream Buffet. Yeah. So.
Oh, nice. You still playing that game?
Yes. Thank you, David.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I have to give it to David for also getting me into Splatoon. Oh. I will say.
Yeah.
I owe it to David for that. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it, because I've definitely tried to like show other people this game before, and they're like, "This is just too much stimuli. I can't handle."
I loved it.
Yeah,
it was like made for my brain. Anyway, sorry, I know we're done with our.
No, it's all good. Yeah,
I'll go next. Splatoon 3. That's it for me. And David, we were talking about this on Discord. I've been trying to find a way to like keep track. There's not an app that like allows me to keep track of what TV shows, movies, books, and manga and anime and games, like something to figure out what's coming. So we were talking on Discord about what app to use, and so I settled on Game Track to like figure out. I need it to figure out what games are like coming up and how many days until those, so I can like try to plan out my time. Because
so is that another app?
Yeah, it's another app. It's on iOS and I think Android. Game Track. The reason I like it, they have a one-time purchase and it's not a subscription, yearly subscription.
Right. Yeah, because that GG app I was showing you,
it's
I really
great.
like it.
Me too.
Yeah, it's a lot like Letterboxd, but all the best features are behind a subscription paywall, right? And it's like, oh man, that's what I really want to use it for.
It's a great allows me to put games to upcoming and to into my backlog, so I can like identify it, because I've been managing a spreadsheet for the past year, but it's just so much work to uptake, and so I've been doing that, and then got another app for movies and TV, which is TV Time.
Nice.
And so the jury's still out for books, which will probably be Goodreads.
Goodreads is great. Yeah, I can vouch for Goodreads. That's a good one. Interesting. I'll have to check out Game Track, but for me, mostly Splatoon, but I've been playing some other games as well. Like I said earlier, I've been watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Definitely recommend that. And that's making me want to go back and play the game again as well. But I'll probably wait for an expansion before I go back to that game, to be honest, because I did beat the story mode. Last night at a party, I whipped out Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics and fucking spanked my friend Sawyer and Moncala. So fucking eat it, Sawyer. You bitch. And then, sorry. And then, been playing more Playdate games as well. I love my Playdate. I love the weekly drops. In fact, I'm just realizing now. Okay, no, it's not Monday today. Tomorrow's Monday. New games tomorrow on my Playdate, so I'm excited about that. That'll be cool. And then, lastly, I wanted to say I've also been playing a lot more Metroid Prime. I've been playing the first Metroid Prime via Prime Hack, emulating Metroid Prime Trilogy. And actually, right as soon as we finish this, I'm probably going to start streaming that as well. So by the time this comes out, I would have already streamed it, but you can check out the VOD if you want. But yeah, Nintendo's just holding on to that Metroid Prime remaster that we know they have done. We've heard from millions of insiders that thing is just sitting on the shelf, completed. So in the meantime, I didn't want to wait anymore, and now I'm playing Metroid Prime on my Steam Deck. Really enjoying it. It's super fun with gyro controls. One thing we didn't say about Splatoon, Steam Deck has kind of ruined Splatoon's gyros controls for me a little bit, because in shooter games, you can add gyro to everything, but then also still have full control of the right stick.
I just
wish that. Yeah, I wish you could go up and down with the stick.
I can't do it. I play without motion controls in Splatoon because I can't not use the stick for up and down.
Yeah, I
mean,
really
I
hope that's
could, but I don't want to.
that would be really nice if they could add in full stick and motion at the same time.
More
it
options.
makes no sense
Yeah.
why it wouldn't be in there, but that's how I'm playing Metroid Prime. So come visit me on twitch.tv. Check out the VOD if you want to see how Prime Hack works, and hopefully we'll get we'll get that Metroid Prime remaster sometime soon for the Switch. But yep, that's what I've been playing.
Well, that's it. Thanks, Sharareh, for coming on and talking to us about Splatoon 3.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks to MilkyWay.co for doing our website. Thanks to Corduroy for doing our music. If you're looking for me online, I am PDYX.
And I'm on Twitter, Matthew, MATHYOU.
I'm pretty much ever on the internet at Monolith Fiji. And what about you, Sharareh? Where can people find you online?
I don't really post anything, but I am Sharareh K.
Nice.
On Instagram, SHERRARIK.
There you go.
So,
write it down, pencil it in, see if you can find some of those instas. You're on the Discord as well, right? We'll be playing some upcoming Splatoon for sure. Speaking of the Discord, we got one of those. We got a Discord and a Facebook group. Make sure you check out the links to those in the descriptions of this video. If you'd like to find our show on social media, we are at Switch Headz on Twitter, at Super Switch Headz on Instagram and Facebook. And we have a website, www.switchheadz.com. So put all those in a big bookmark folder in your browser, and we'll see you on the internet. New sign off just dropped, guys. That's how we're doing that one. But other than that, folks, that's going to do it for today's episode on Splatoon. Once again, Sharareh, what a delight to have you on. It was so good to have you.
Thank you so much.
We're going to be back next week, folks, with a brand new episode. So make sure you tune in. Don't change your dial of your podcast app, and we'll be on it. And make sure you subscribe to our fucking YouTube, guys. We got video content going up all the time. Just these episodes with video on them, but it's still video content nonetheless. We'll see you guys next week. Stay safe out there. You know the drill. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to one another. But above all else, play Splatoon. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.